Hi everyone, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. I hope you're well, and if you have some time today, I would love if you journal with me. I'm working on prompts 10 to 13 in my junk journal for Journal January. And Meg at Make Journals has all of these great prompts to join in with. I will link her in the description box below. So I have an accordion style journal, and I am working on these spreads, a pop of color and also Stamp It Out. So those are prompts 10 and 11. So for prompt 10, I am considering that cute little goldfinch, and I'm liking the idea of working on this 2-page spread at a time. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to take a little acrylic and using a very simple technique, a smush the paint technique, I'm gonna make a journal spot so that I can write. And I don't know about you, are you a person who likes to write in your junk journals? I always find I want a little area to write, and because that scrapbook paper is so printy, I want to just go over it with the paint. And now I'm going to work in the background here on the top left on the Stamp It Out prompt. And I actually bought these stamps, and the background here, that's what the stamps came on the packaging. So I thought that would be really fun to include in the page, as well as some of these favorite botanical stamps that I have. So that is the current plan. And again, as you watch this video, oh yeah, and stays on ink, it's sort of an assemblage of a few videos that I've done across the week to accomplish all of these prompts. So I'm going in, and I decided on this particular stamp that I put on the acrylic block because we are in the winter season in New England, and the weather has just been really wild. It can't seem to make up its mind. Oh yeah, and I didn't do so well with that little umbrella, so I'm kind of going back in. I pulled it off the block to do a little do-over there. And anyway, it's been sort of wild, and between rain and snow, and then today was a bit on the warm side. You just can't seem to predict it. So anyways, that's what I was thinking when I put those in, and some of my favorite botanicals. And then recently I picked up these really nice, bold black and white washi tapes. I just love them, and I know they're not exactly stamping, but to me they have that same feel. So I decided to include that on the Stamp It Up page. I like these new prints. Oh, yep, there we go. Took the plant out on that one. Oh goodness, pardon me. So I like to use a metal ruler when I take the washi tape off. Usually it goes better than that. And it helps you rip usually a clean edge. So now I'm playing around with the idea of more of these really pretty black and white washi tapes. I love this one. It's just the black and white, very bold graphic rainbow. And now I'm going to use the packaging from the stamp set that those weather stamps and other stamps came in to add a little bit of a transparent background. I noticed some of the collaborators used vellum and transparencies in some of the journal YouTube, I want to say Junk Journal January videos. There we go. And I like that. So inspired by many of them and decided to try that. And then something new I'm trying is using washi tape for date stickers. So I thought, why not? This is simple enough to do for the number 11 for the Stamp It Out prompt. And I'm just going to go over the border with a little bit of the Tombow brush pen, and yeah, position that a little bit better. so that it stands out a little bit more. So how are you doing? Are you participating in Junk Journal January? If you're not a junk journaler, what other kinds of journals do you like to play in? I really do have a lot of different journals that I've experimented in. I do have an Hobonichi right now that I'm doing a week in review, and haven't shared that much lately, but I think I will do that really soon. So I've been having a lot of fun. I hope that you are grabbing whatever supplies you have and journaling a bit if you have the time. All right, so jumping right back into the pop of color. This sweet goldfinch reminds me of summer, and I could really use that right now. For me, journaling is a lot of relaxation and art play and paper crafting, but it's also self-care, and thinking about the summer right now is a really good thought. We also have the goldfinches that love a little garden in the back, and they love the purple echinacea, so it's a good memory. All right, so next, the additional pop of color I thought I would try. I am not much of a person who uses stitching, but there's so many slow stitching videos now. I know Rachel at Roxy Creations is doing a whole journal series with her family members, and I don't think that's my personal journal jam, but just a little bit of trying it as a technique, I think I can handle. So I'm giving it a whirl today. And I know I've said this many times, but that's what I love about the prompts, is having you think about things you might not normally try. And stitching and slow stitching is something I definitely have not done a lot of. So I think this is a sweet pink color. And what I did was use the pokey tool to pop into the scrapbooking paper, the holes, because I didn't think the needle would go in so well if I didn't pop those holes. And I'm doing a really simple zigzag stitch. I am going back and forth on the diagonals, and yeah, there we go, finishing that up. And as I started to do that, I thought maybe I should add even more color. I wasn't quite sure, so I'm playing around and just thinking what I might add next. So here we go. I thought about this green embroidery floss. I really like that color, so both. Why not? So I'm gonna add that in a minute or two. I am going to, while I still have the pretty pink color already threaded, I'm gonna add a border on the right-hand side for the next page, which I think I'm prepping for the quote, which will be the number 12. And again, I've done little snippets of video across the week here and there and sort of just assembled them because of time. That seemed to work out best this week. And yeah, so you'll just see some bits and pieces in sped up video, but here we go. I sped it up, and on the left hand side I did add in the crisscross for the green and a little bit of dotting. There it is. You can see a close-up, and that was the close-up of the Stamp It Up page. And here it is back in view. So again, just crisscross, a little bit of mark making on the left, and now I'm moving quickly into the quote. So the quote is for Junk Journal January day 12, and I'm making a tuck spot with some more of that same scrapbooking paper that the goldfinch is on, because I do want to add a little writing and journaling spot. I'm going to pop in some more a coloring page paper actually that I already have in the wings here. And the quote I think I'm going to do on the bottom on that circle. So I'm doing a slight collage cluster, and yeah, popped in that coloring book page. So a little bit of layering. I think I saw it was Miss Paper Lover. Sorry, I don't know all the channel names. I think I'm right. She did a lot of layering techniques in her videos, and I thought they were really fun to try. So I've been playing around with that. And my quote for this journal spread, I really like. It's creativity is the power to connect the seemingly unconnected. And that's by William Plomer. And I think this one, I'm just playing with simple lettering. I'm going to do some cursive and just make the word connect a little bit bolder and in caps. I love this quote for junk journaling, right? What are we doing as junk journalers? We are seemingly connecting the unconnected. But the sweet part of that for me, and I think for all of the creatives that I see all the time, is that they are connected. They're connected by color or journaling and sometimes patterns. And I don't know, somehow it just all simply comes together. And it's that eclectic look, that variety of styles that I'm really drawn to. I don't know about you. Are you more of a vintage junk journaler? I tend to not be. I don't know how to categorize myself. I think, oh yeah, there's that journaling card on that coloring page. And yeah, I think we'll call that section a wrap. But anyways, waxing on, I think I'm more of a nature junk journaler. I don't know how to categorize my style, but I do appreciate all styles of junk journal. All right, so moving on. This is Dreamy. And for Dreamy, this one stumped me more than all the others. This is number 13 on the prompt list. And I really wasn't sure what to do. So I just showed, this is a Dilutions ink, a blue ink that I've been using in my smaller New Year's book accordion project. I talked about a few videos back, and I'm still working on it in the sidelines, and I'm happy to share that, I hope, soon with you. But yeah, I was playing around with Dilutions ink spray. This one is actually Periwinkle Blue. So that's some overspray on a sheet. And after a while, I just thought, well, what could I possibly do? So I went for this idea of cutting out a cloud for Dreamy. And I had simply not clipped off the long piece of embroidery floss yet. So I'm glad I left it. It came in handy. So I'm going to do a dangle, a paper dangle, and I'm thinking about right now how to secure this. And a staple is, I think, what's going to work best. So I'm going to staple the top of the embroidery floss so that it will hang down a little bit. And I want to be careful on the opposite side there, so that I'm not stapling something I don't want stapled together. There we go. I think that's going to work. Yep. I can get that journaling card back in the tuck spot. And I'm going to just secure that down a little bit to make it easier to work on. And I'm thinking I want to put two sides to this. So I want a backing on the cloud and glue it to the embroidery floss. There it is, the backing. I don't want to glue it to the page. I want it to be able to be interactive. So that took some thinking on my part because I was a little lost. And but the nice part of that, I think, is I wouldn't have done something like this. I wouldn't have tried it without the inspiration from these prompts. So I'm happy about that. And now I'm going in with that Dymo, the handheld label maker. And so you just print out, you hand punch the letters. So I've punched out the word Dreamy on the label. I'm going to put that down there. And I think today I'm actually going to write and use this cloud as my journaling spot. So I will probably do that off camera in a little bit. And the last piece of this is the overspray on a paper towel, and I separated the two pieces of paper towel so that I took the liner away and I only have one layer. Now I'm going to fiddle around with some positioning and see how that goes. So I hope you're having fun and enjoying your journals or crafting, whatever you're making. And if you're experimenting with these prompts, I hope that you are enjoying it. I know that I am, and I've really appreciated the challenge. All right, so here's a little bit later. I went in and journaled, actually on the Dreamy cloud, January 13th. Here's a bit of a close-up for that quote. I love that one. More of a close-up for the Stamp It Up and the Pop of Color pages. So thank you to all subscribers. I really appreciate you. Thank you all for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate you watching.